evening, fellow exorcists, and welcome to the Lair of the Film Exorcist. Tonight we will be taking a look at the show Kakushigoto. Kakashi draws ecchi manga for a living. He's worried that fact would alienate his daughter Hime from him, so he swears never to let her know about his real job. Now, before we move on to my opinion, I'd like to just announce that this video is sponsored by Animal. So, go buy yourself some amazing low-priced anime merch, and every time you use the code FILM, you'll get 5% off your purchases. Anyway, this time, instead of my usual opinion where I start by telling you guys some anime that this show's studio has done before, I've decided, due to some very heavy criticism, to just forget about it all and give you my usual story and character reviews. So let's get down to business. Starting with our main character, Kakushigoto. Yes, he's named after the title and after the word for ecchi writer or secret. Yeah, it's secret and it's really stupid. Don't blame me for how stupid it sounds. He's a manga writer who just wants to keep his job a secret from his daughter because of how embarrassing it is to write ecchi. I mean, I write ecchi and I'm not embarrassed about it. I just don't want to let my people at work know about it. And nor for my grandmother. Now, Kakashi is your ideal father for any heartwarming slice of life anime. He's always thinking about how he can keep his daughter happy and healthy during the time that he has with her, and he's just a really great guy, and an even better manga artist. I mean, look at the art in this show. It's definitely some of the best manga I've seen in any show so far. Now, despite how weird his characters look, he's amazing. I mean, when I see those tights, I kind of think of a much cleaner version of Blue Snow from Shimonetta. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but I kind of feel Kakashi looks so much like Koyomi from the Monogatari series, to the point that I kind of started creating this whole story about the two where Hime's mother is really Nadeko, who ended up marrying Koyomi after the series, but that's just me. And sadly, they don't confirm this little fan fiction in my head because she doesn't have the snake powers that Nadeko had, which is kinda sad. Next, we have Hime, Kakashi's daughter, who has an idea about her father's job, and who lives a quiet life of hanging out with friends and going to school. Now, I do think she is the cutest thing in this series, especially since she is only 10 years old for most of the show, and she is really believable. Because, like most 10-year-olds, she's curious about the world around her, so she asks a lot of questions. I mean, I'm sure I did, I'm sure you guys did. So, yeah, that's mostly what I'd think of for a kid in a TV show. Someone who's always wondering about the world, trying to figure it out, and going to school and hanging out with your friends. I mean, sadly, I didn't really have friends to hang out with, but on the bright side, I had video games, and I had people to play with online, so yeah, this just turned into a very sad story about me. What the heck have I been doing with my life? But anyway, let's move on to the story before this gets really sad. Honestly, I feel this show was kind of done in the sort of Forrest Gump kind of way, where we have Hime look back on her life at the beginning of the first episode, which is a rarity for the slice of life genre. I mean, you never see most of the characters go back, look at their previous life as a kid, or just look back at a certain time and think, so that's what I went through, and luckily this happens throughout the show. Now, I also read this series was a comedy, but I didn't see it that much. I mean, the jokes are definitely there, but these jokes are what you'd expect from your typical slice of life anime, like the main character responding to a situation in some of the weirdest ways, like running all the way home just to prevent it from happening, or the classic misunderstanding, which one person is talking about an important topic, but the friend or coworker or daughter thinks it's about something else. And these two are definitely the most prominent jokes in the series. But there was also a very creative joke that sadly was only used once, and that was the Hime drills, which were performed in case Hime ever figured out Kakashi's secret. But again, we only saw it once, so it seemed more like a waste. I mean, they even made costumes for this drill, and I'd have liked to see it get used more, or at least have Hime come close to the job, instead of foreshadowing it, or practicing for it for one time. I mean, you barely see her ever figure out, or almost figure out, he's a manga artist, other than, I guess, one time when they almost see him in his uniform for work, or an almost moment where they do cover it up pretty well, but they go to a kids' playhouse where they try out many jobs, and then they somehow get her to believe that he's just doing the same thing, but for adults, and acting like a manga artist. Yeah, I get it. The kid's supposed to be dumb, but I thought girls were supposed to be smarter than guys at that age. Wow. Anime is trying to make girls look dumb. Huh. Now, they also have a really good twist ending that uses irony very well, like the idea of being destroyed by the one thing that you love, which is the only hint I will give about the ending. So go watch it yourself, guys, and don't check out the manga. So so far I've been pretty good about the no spoilers thing, and if anyone feels I've given you spoilers about the show, let Silva know and he'll deal with me in some way. I don't know. He'll probably try and force me to pay him extra. On second thought, don't tell him anything, guys. Please don't tell Silva anything. Just tell me, your friendly neighborhood film exorcist, and then we can forget this whole thing happened. Now, we also have a lot of great locations in the show, like Kakashi's studio, G Pro, which sounds like a play on GoPro. The camera, I mean, really? And then there's Kakashi's home, Hime's school, and the present-day storehouse, and the hospital. Now, these 4 or 5 are very prominent in this show, because we're either watching Kakashi and his assistants work on their long-running manga series, or we're at home with the Gotos as they learn how to cook, adopt a puppy, or they just sleep. Yeah, you heard me. Them sleeping is interesting, and we don't even get to see that much. But the main focus of the series is the heart that is put into these characters, whether it's Kakashi's teaching his daughter about the world, or the many jerk moments we get with Kakashi's editor when he messes with him, which feels very similar to how me and Silva argue sometimes about his pay, and how we should improve our videos. Which, yeah, the interviews was my idea, guys. Anything he says, he didn't come up with them. I did. So, yeah, we can see who's got the upper hand here. So yeah, this show is really good and very reflective of the real world, which has made very clear in a lot of my other slice of life reviews. So I'm giving this series a 9.5 out of 10 for the great slice of life story and the great characters, but also because of a lot of the jokes and comedic moments, which have been done way too much. So yeah, I'd recommend this to anyone looking for a great slice of life anime to watch when you're in quarantine. So please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And if you're interested, my friend Miku, who I have mentioned many times in my videos, is selling figurines and clothing. So go check her out and let her know Film sent you. And also don't forget to look up Animal, where you can find my friend on there who does really good prices and can get you any merchandise for a low price, including figurines and keychains and towels and shirts and hats. Just go check her out, guys. I'll have a link down in the bottom, and you can find her on Instagram. I have mentioned her in a few videos, but I'll put her down in the description again. So, have a great night, guys.